She's now 24 and recovered the #1 world ranking when she won recently in Paris, her third title there. Because, of course, unfortunately, Monica Seles was not able to defend her title after that awful happening in Hamburg. And she's now won 12 Grand Slam titles, going today for a 13th. And I think most people's favourite to do just that. She is actually the 35th woman to have her name on the Champions Board here at Wimbledon. And that really is quite a meagre number, really, when you think 100 years, 35, that's about an average of 3 roughly per player. Gives you some idea of how dominant some of the champions have been. And she's played very well indeed to reach this final. Hasn't lost a set in accounting for all those opponents: Kirili Sharp, Claire Wood, Helen Kelsey, Meredith McGrath, Jennifer Capriati and Conchita Martinez in that semi-final a couple of days ago, 3 days ago. So the champion is in great form, and you've heard from Virginia Wade that she's been practicing well again today and is looking very confident. One of the world's great athletes who, I think her father was right, you know, that Peter once told me that he thought that if she were ever minded to do it, she could achieve a qualifying Olympic time in perhaps the 400 meters or the 800 meters, and I think he's probably right. She's a lovely runner. And Peter's not here, but Heidi Graf is here on the left, sitting with Klaus Hofsass, the man who guides the fortunes of women's tennis in Germany for the German Federation. Hannah Mandlikova under the cap at the back, hoping to see her charge, Jana Novotna, play to her full talents today, as she certainly did against Martina Navratilova, that marvellous semi-final when she was just about word perfect. A slight tightening in that opening set when she lost a service game, but really you could hardly fault her. And here are her details. 24 as well, seeded 8 here. And of course, ranked 9 in the world, but it's the absence of Seles that makes her the 8th seed. Never yet a champion at any of the Grand Slams, but certainly most of us believe that one day it's going to happen. She's perhaps developing a little later than some of the infant prodigies of recent years, but she certainly does have immense talent. And the question I'm going to put first to Ann Jones is this. Here is a serve volleyer of the highest class, the sort of player who, in a sense, replaces Martina, a right-handed Martina, if you like, a lovely natural attacking player. And someone of this type, Steffi has yet to meet this year. Is it going to make a difference?
Well, I think it can make a difference, John, because Steffi also hasn't been challenged. And if Jana can start off well, which obviously we all hope she does, then this could put some pressure on Steffi. And 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone to 3 sets. And in fact, when maybe some of the viewers saw in Brighton, Jana led by a set and 3-1 and was also up in the 3rd set, only to lose the match 7-6 in the 3rd. So the last matches have been very close. A lot therefore depends on how Jana settles down on the centre court in a final. She has played 1 Grand Slam final before in the Australian Open in 1991, so that does help her, but this final is still so different from all the others.
Well, she's been playing pretty darn well too to reach this final. Just 1 set she's lost to Miriam Oremans, who you'll remember played so well down at Eastbourne. But Zardo was absolutely dismissed. Emanuela Zardo from Switzerland, then Ines Golochategui from Argentina, Marianne Verdel, Oremans, then Gabriela Sabatini. That surprised a lot of people, the ease of that win, and Martina Navratilova in the semi-final. So we couldn't have really 2 players playing better, and we couldn't have a better setting for this historic final. As to the part that the crowd is going to play in this, it's difficult to know who they're going to favour. They are a little fickle sometimes, this centre court crowd. Steffi Graf has made herself into a very popular figure here, and with those 6 appearances, appearances in finals. She's very well known, and 3 times she's won. It could be, though, that like so often in the past, they go for the underdog.
Oh, I think they will, John, and particularly at the beginning, but the crowd obviously want to see a long match, and their favourites could well change as the match progresses.
And the man who has charge of this match is Ted Watts from Herne in Canterbury, who has umpired finals here before, the mixed final of 1990 and the ladies' doubles final of 1991. Perhaps we ought to remind ourselves that they've met 19 times
Balls
before,
down to the right of the chair.
and of those 19, only 3 have been won by Novotna.
Quiet, please. Miss Graf to serve. First set. Play. $15 love. First service. $15 all.
Carrying on where she left off against Navratilova, but being very patient before seeking the net position.
$15-30. $30 all.
Well played.
$30-40.
So quick thinking there.
Game Miss Novotna. First game.
So what a start by the challenger. Couldn't have been a better way of boosting confidence.
She played herself in so well with that second point. She was very, very patient, not in contrast to the match against Martina, where she knew she had to get to the net quickly. Jana was content to stay on the baseline, and I think in an opening game of a championship match of this magnitude shows great credit to her. And at 30 all, this was a lovely point that Jana played. Steffi a little bit ragged in this opening game. Serve not as hard as can be at times, and Jana showing great patience on the baseline. And Jana from the far end She picks up that ball and lobs it over Steffi's head. Steffi, 5'9", it's no mean feat.
Well, a lovely day here, but for the players, quite a
Novotna to serve.
temperature to contend with. Something like 104 degrees in the sun.
Love 15. All.
Finding the sheer pace of that serve rather too much.
$15.30. Second service. $30 all.
Not fully relaxed yet. There was a clue, the long forehand she hit on the last point of the first game, and that rather rushed backhand approach.
And here is a great get coming up by Jana, that short angle forehand from Steffi. And here Jana guesses right, but she can't quite control the ball. So, break point to Steffi.
Deuce.
Well, that is the classic way to play Graf on a fast court. It's what Martini used to do, in to a deep ball to the behind a deep ball to the backhand. And Steffi failing there with the attempted topspin pass.
Advantage, Miss Novotna.
Jana won't get away with many short second serves like that.
Game, Miss Novotna. Miss Novotna leads 2 games to love, first set.
So Novotna coming through her test rather better than Graf did in the opening game. 2-love.
Love 15. Love 13. Set.
And Steffi from love 30 is very, very lucky to win this point. She attacks the net, takes the ball a little bit too early, impatient to hit it before it reached her, and got a dead net cord.
Thirty all. Fourteen 30. Deuce.
Just believing, I think, that that might have been a let serve, and in her mind had stopped playing, which is rather a dangerous thing to do. So it's deuce.
Advantage, Miss Novotna.
Well, now, is this to change a racket, I wonder? No, just a towel. So far, the forehand rather erratic, suggesting that she is still just a little bit tense. I saw her losing the final in Florida, the Lipton tournament, to Sanchez Vicario, and the forehand that day was all over the place.
Deuce. Advantage, Miss Graf.
Ah, well
Game, Miss
played.
Graf. Miss Novotna leads 2 games to 1, first set.
Well, and Steffi volleyed twice in that service game. Do you think she's going to need to if only to keep Novotna from the net?
I think Steffi needs to break up the tactics. If she stays on the baseline all the time, then Jana, as she displayed in the first couple of games, will just stay back, rally with her, and when she does get a shorter one, she will be the one to come to the net. So it was good to see Steffi there. But she was, I thought, very, very lucky at love 30. She should really have been love 40 down, and then she would undoubtedly have been in a lot of problem. But that net cord earned her a reprieve and has helped her to settle down. She was opening her shoulders much more on the service. The speed of it has picked up, and she was threatening her opponent with it. Steffi's serve, of course, is so much faster than Martina's, and Jana will not find her returns so easy.
Time.
Yes, in fact, of the servers that have been recorded, when we're remembering we only record them on the central #1 courts, Brenda Schultz leads the field with 115 miles per hour as the fastest, but Jana Novotna shares that speed with her, so she is the fastest server, Steffi Graf the fourth.
But Jana's is less consistent, isn't it?
So still with the break in hand. 2-1.
Fifteen long. Fifteen all.
And Jana getting into the net on the Graf backhand, and certainly not expecting the speed of that cross-court passing shot.
Thirty all.
You're seeing that backhand pass just now, the topspin. It was a shot that Pavel Slozel, her former coach, the Czech, encouraged her to play, and in practice she plays it so beautifully all the time.
(30-40).
Jana misjudging the heavy slice that Steffi put on that backhand cross-court. Her first serve percentage is very, very low, 25% at the moment too.
Juice. Advantage, Miss Novotna.
Yes, that was really one of those unforced errors which she'll have to eliminate.
And this point shows the increased confidence of Steffi Graf's net play. She fades that one away and angles it beautifully, outmanoeuvring her opponent, but Steffi had such good feel on the racket with that backhand volley.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
Made simpler, that pass, by the fact that the service return was so good.
Deuce.
So living a little dangerously, surviving 2 break points thus far in this game. When she relaxes a little more, perhaps we'll see a few more first serves going.
Advantage, Miss Novotna. First service. First service. First service.
And the longer this game goes on, the more important it becomes. Jana failing to get that serve onto Steffi's backhand and suffered the consequences.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
Well, suffering there from another superb service return, and it's produced a 3rd break point.
Game, Miss Graf. 2 games all, first set.
So back on level terms, and that may turn out to be a very important game. Graf getting straight back. into the match, having lost her opening serve. And it seems now beginning herself really to enjoy the occasion.
Love 15. All.
I think she thought it was going to be long. It was a beautifully flighted approach. Landed on the line.
(30-15). All.
Yes, well played. So quick.
40-30.
Getting to the ball before it had dropped below net height.
Deuce. Advantage, Miss Graf. Deuce.
Yes, what a well-planned rally. Graf suffering from the depth of that approach. Just blocking the serve back.
Advantage, Miss Graf.